was that like for you? What was that experience for you?
Oh, it was a remarkable time. It was something that I remember for the rest of my life. In my 52 years of living, I've never experienced anything like it.
You've been a free man since January 3rd this year. You have a whole new start to your life because of what was seen as a very bipartisan agreement in Washington. How did you see all of that?
I was kind of like behind closed doors as all this was going on. I was able to witness and hear about it in the media, but the bipartisan effort, the fact that in the House that it had passed overwhelmingly, and in the Senate, once Mr. Jared Kushner and the President spoke to Mitch McConnell and asked him to bring it to a vote before this Senate was released and the new one came in, I was ecstatic when I was able to see that it also passed with overwhelming support, bipartisan support. And then to witness the President not only state that he was going to sign it prior to him signing it, but to actually see him on C-SPAN sign it, I mean, it was just remarkable for everybody that witnessed it.
You know, Matthew, you were traveling down a dark road 23 years ago. Right?
Yes, I was.
You're sentenced to 35 years in jail, drug-related offenses.
Yes, sir.
Later, apparently, you found God. You taught GED classes behind bars. You became a law clerk in prison.
Yes, sir.
You have been given a second chance by every definition of the word, and that in itself has its own salvation. When you think about what others can learn from you, what is that?
I would say what others in society, as well as those that are still incarcerated, can learn from this is that if they actually change and take advantage of the opportunities that lie before them, society will give them a second chance. They will walk beside them hand in hand if they're willing to take the advantages of those opportunities that lie before them.
But why do you think you changed? Why you?
Okay, my change was a personal decision that I made in February 1996. I was in the county jail for the offenses, not yet convicted or sentenced of them, and I ended up getting a Bible from a friend, and I read that Bible, and that Bible led me to inquire more about it, and then I started attending Bible study courses that were offered by the county jail. Then I was able to pick up a track as well as hear the minister speak about how to come to Christ, and once I accepted Christ as my Lord and personal Savior, that inward change, that inward spiritual change just started to reflect itself outwardly. And because of that, everything that I did after that was a reflection of what had taken place on that February day in 1996.
That's remarkable and very poignant. What is your view about how far this law goes? Like, who should be eligible for a second chance like you have been given? Can you answer that? Can you define that?
I can kind of answer it because after 22 years of being incarcerated, I witnessed a lot of people who had changed, some for spiritual reasons, some because of familiar situations, and then some because the sentence that they had is so extensive that over a period of time of incapacitation, they just necessarily changed. So I would say that out of 100%, I would say there's at least 70% of people that have been over sentenced, and I would say that 45 to 50% of those people have changed. So I believe that it would be like a correct percentage of the amount of people that should be able to benefit not only from the First Step Act, but also any more criminal justice reforms that come forth.
Mr. Charles, the White House called your story a story of redemption, and last night the president said you represent the very best of America. How do you plan to spend the rest of your life, sir?
I'm very, very grateful. I'm very, very grateful for everything that the media as well as the White House has done on my behalf, but I'm still humbled. I'm always be grateful. I still take things day by day. I look forward to continuing to be the voice for criminal justice reform, as well as God placed in my heart in 1996 that kind of came to fruition in 2016 to help the poor, the homeless, and single-parent families. Yeah. So those are my future goals.
Matthew, God bless you. Thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Matthew Charles there.
Thank you.